New this morning, details on the New York Attorney General investigation into the Trump Organization. In court documents filed last night, the AG's office says it's uncovered evidence the company routinely used fraudulent or misleading asset valuations to qualify for loans and tax benefits. Investigators say they haven't yet decided if they'll file charges. The AG's office has also filed a motion to enforce subpoenas issued to former President Trump and two of his children, Donald Trump Jr. and Ivanka Trump. Lawyers for the former president say the investigation is politically motivated.
What would you say to people who say, oh, I'm not going to bother to register to vote because my voice doesn't make a difference, or I'm just one person?
I say one name, Donald Trump. That should motivate you. Get off your ass and vote.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
I love it. He probably does already.
The New York Attorney General Letitia James, as part of an ongoing investigation, says that she has uncovered, quote, significant evidence suggesting that former President Trump and the Trump Organization, including two of Mr. Trump's children, Ivanka and Don Jr., inflated and misrepresented the value of several Trump properties and the Trump brand. James says that her office has still not made any final decision whether to take legal action.
He built his wealth off the backs of New Yorkers.
We need to focus on Donald Trump and his abuses. We need to follow his money. We need to find out where he's laundered money. All of those transactions have happened here in New York City. Tell this president and every other individual that no one is above the law.
New York State Attorney General's office is seeking to take legal action to force Donald Trump and two of his children to comply with a civil investigation into the financial dealings of the former president's company. In a series of tweets posted late last night, Attorney General Letitia James wrote, "No one in this country can pick and choose if and how the law applies to them. We have uncovered significant evidence indicating that the Trump Organization used fraudulent and misleading asset valuations on multiple properties to obtain economic benefits, including loans, insurance coverage, and tax deductions for years. Donald Trump, Donald Trump Jr., and Ivanka Trump have all been closely involved in the transactions in question, so we won't tolerate their attempts to evade testifying in this investigation." The AG's office saying it's focusing on the monetary values of 6 Trump properties in particular and the Trump brand as a whole. In total, the organization is accused of inflating its assets on those properties by more than $1 billion. Her office added that if it has not yet reached a final decision regarding whether this evidence merits legal action.
I say the bottom line is that residents from Brooklyn who are going to really make the difference are energized. Individuals from the city are energized. Individuals who care about statewide issues are energized. Individuals who care about, again, going after Donald Trump, this illegitimate governor, president of the United States. Individuals who care that he has colluded and that he's violated the emoluments clause. And that basically all that he stands for is in violation of our values and who we are as a people and as a society. And so individuals who care about this country and who care about our rights and who care about, again, immigrants who are hiding right now, we've got to make some noise. We've got to let our voices know. And what we need is someone who's going to take the fight to White House at the same time representing the interests of New York. Her name is Letitia James, the next Attorney General.
By the way, you're kidding about the water with his face on it. Anyone who's been to a 5-year-old's birthday party at Woolman Rink in Central Park, each kindergartner is given a bottle of Trump Ice with Donald Trump's face on it. So that's a nice take home for the kids. But he does build in what he says is his brand into the value of these companies. So if it really is only a $20 million property, he says because it's his, it's $100 million and all that. So that's part of what Letitia James is combing through here.
Running for Attorney General because I will never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president when our fundamental rights are at stake.
A legal system where even the most powerful in the country cannot use a loophole to evade justice. We must do our job to ensure that the man currently occupying the Oval Office is held accountable to any and everything he has done.
We will not
allow this administration, this illegitimate president who sits in the White House, we're going to send a message by marching to the polls in our high heels and even backwards. And the days of this president are numbered because of the power of hate. Yes.
The interesting thing, and this is a little inside baseball, Allie, is it's unusual to be pushing so hard on a civil investigation that has a parallel criminal investigation. You cannot use a civil investigation as a stalking horse to develop evidence that you could then use in a criminal investigation. And that's one of the arguments that the Trump's lawyers make for why these subpoenas and for depositions are inappropriate now. And it is a legitimate argument. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out going forward.
Attorney General James has joined this investigation or is working with Cy Vance, and she campaigned on this notion that she was after Trump, which itself can undermine the legitimacy of this investigation. Attorney General James has joined this investigation or is working with Cy Vance, and she campaigned on this notion that she was after Trump, which itself can undermine the legitimacy of this investigation.